Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a minute since we had a video, but man, we've been busy with school. It's finals time. You know how it is. You know how it is. But anyways, the playoffs have been booming. We're in the conference finals right now, and today we're going to talking about the teams that aren't with us anymore. The Cancun teams. We're going to be talking about what happened and how they can improve. But before we start, thank you guys for all the love on the TikToks and the shorts. Definitely going to keep cranking those out. Please show some support with the videos too. But anyways, obviously Mo, why don't you get us started?
It was a very heartbreaking playoffs, as it usually is for me as a Sixers fan, man. We get eliminated in the second round again in a game seven to Boston. Heart-wrenching series because that was our series to win, man. It really was. We were up 3-2. Game six was ours to win. We lost. Game seven, Jason Tatum just went absolutely berserk. I can't control that. Dude's a dog. But what's next for the Philadelphia 76ers? We did step fucking one. Fire this motherfucker, bro. Thank God he's gone. Thank God.
That is
I
step
know.
one.
I saw that and I was surprised.
That was a huge step one. My opinion, step two, I think right now, obviously, James Harden being a free agent, there's a lot of rumors of him going to Houston, other teams. I've heard Phoenix as well. Honestly, I'm not upset about that idea as a Sixers fan. Not letting him walk, but as something as a sign and trade. So we get something in return, of course. But of course, I'm okay with the idea of letting James Harden
But
off the team
bro,
next year.
what the hell would you get for James Harden from Houston? That would make the Sixers better than they were.
Oh no, no. If it's a sign and trade, we're definitely not the same value. But like just some two or three solid bench guys and maybe a pick. Like I'd take Kevin Porter Jr., Tari Eason, and maybe a pick. Like I'd be satisfied with that for a sign and trade because sign and trades are obviously a lot lower. We obviously reduce that salary cap, let Maxey be the two guy. And another big thing I think we need to do this year is trade that Tobias Harris contract. He's on his final year, $40 million for this year, bro. $40 million. He's expiring. So I think someone team will take that contract.
Okay.
So I think trading him
But
away for some more depth too. Let
we could
Maxey and
talk
Joel
about
do their thing, bro.
we
I
could
have a
talk about
question.
what's next a little more, but
I have a
bro, we have
question.
to talk more about this Philly team.
I have a
Um,
question for Mo, actually.
Yeah,
what's
what's
up?
up, man?
Do you ever think about if the 76ers chose to keep Jimmy instead of Tobias?
I mean, okay, so there's a lot of things that go into that. Of course, yes, I would have much rather have Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris, but people don't understand there was a lot more to them just picking Tobias over Jimmy. That's not necessarily what happened. They also wanted to look at the fit, the team chemistry issues, and another big thing is we were looking to sign Al Horford that year too. And that was the whole Sixers idea of we need the Joel Embiid stopper on our team. And it seemed perfect. And like the vision, like this was Al Horford's like end of his prime. He was still like an absolute monster. And he still is an absolute monster, but like we're looking at like almost peak Al Horford. So we threw money at him. So we let Jimmy walk. It was a huge mistake. I think we would have had a championship if that happened. I think if we didn't trade Tatum away from Markelle Fultz, we would have had a championship. If we didn't trade away Mikal Bridges, we would have had a championship. So a
Oh,
lot of
absolutely, bro.
L's.
The East, dude, the East is weak as shit. Every single year it's weak, it's wide open compared to the West. And dude, I am sick of seeing just the James Harden slander. Honestly, bro, I hate to say it, but we're gonna have to start throwing some slander at Joel Embiid. I hate saying it because I don't know how much the injury took into play his performances, but dude did not play like an MVP. He did not. That MVP award looks terrible right now. I get it's a regular season thing, but dude, Joel Embiid needs to take some responsibility for this.
Thank you for saying that, Ed, because that post game conference, he said that, oh, like these other guys need to be better, not just me and James. That actually made me mad as a Sixers fan, bro. Like, you have to step up as the leader and as the damn MVP of the league. You have to take some responsibility, bro.
Or Mohammed, you watched every single
You
game.
still have to take responsibility.
Yeah, you watched every single game. You know the most about this team. Between any of us, dude. Okay, so I want you to let me know what happened. The James Harden pick and roll with Joel Embiid was the highest scoring producing move in the regular season. James Harden was the highest assist leader in the season, and Joel Embiid was the leading scorer in the regular season. Like, what happened where that couldn't translate into wins? They had two opportunities to close it. What happened?
I will tell you exactly what happened. Doc Rivers doesn't know how to coach. He honestly makes plays for players that like shouldn't have the ball. And as like weird as it sounds, like he'll have like Joel Embiid and James Harden just standing around while Tobias Harris is dribbling out the ball. Like, I don't understand. Like, obviously, you want to get everyone involved, but when you have a player like James Harden and like Joel Embiid that cause so much gravity, you have to use that to your like advantage.
Yeah.
They would have like Harden sitting at like the top of the key. They'd have Joel Embiid sitting at like a freaking corner wing. I'm like, what are you doing, man? What is this play?
Yeah.
It was just awful, awful coaching by Doc Rivers. Just a huge, huge thing that we fired him. And I want to say one thing about this coach. I want us to sign Nick Nurse. I want us to get Nick Nurse.
I agree.
I'll be so happy with that.
There was an interesting stat. A lot of these championship coaches, Nick Nurse, Steve Kerr, Eric Spoelstra, they've never coached NBA teams before. So it's kind of weird that these new coaches are getting these chips. But all right, one last thing on the Sixers. Mo, I know you're not going to like this idea, but I think they should trade Tyrese Maxey for something big, bro. Something big.
I don't agree with that.
No.
No, why not?
No. Okay. If this is 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. I mean, everyone were talking about this earlier. Big three is just in the current NBA, man. I don't think they're it anymore. I think like the biggest success, like highest chance of success, is you having a really strong duo and a great bench to support and supporting cast. Us having like Spencer was telling us earlier, like that we should trade Tyrese Maxey, Tobias, and some picks for Damian Lillard. So we have Harden, Lillard, and like Embiid, and of course that sounds amazing.
Mhm.
But obviously the supporting cast is going to be complete and utter dog shit, and I don't want that.
My issue is I'd rather give up Maxey than Harden because listen, if you give up Harden, the team's worse. The team is worse. It's just how it is. Maxey, I know everyone loves him. He's not on the level of Harden, in my opinion, yet. So
Of course.
And okay. Last thing. No more suffering for Mo. But how many more like failures is Joel Embiid? Are you worried about Joel Embiid possibly moving on from the Sixers? 2 more seasons?
More. I say 2 more.
Okay. But hold up. You're lagging a little, Mo.
If it does work out, you have to go full reset. Like trade Embiid, start over.
You say 2 more seasons.
I say give it 2 years. What did you say?
I'm saying what makes you think
he's drinking water.
No, go ahead. I'm good.
I just don't know, man. He's getting into his 30s, man. Joel Embiid's health issue is always a concern. And it's like, if we can't win now in the peak of his career, when are we going to win with him, you know?
I don't think Embiid.
Like, obviously, I think if Embiid's on the decline, and I'm not saying that he is, but like later down if he is, he may have to be the second best player on a championship team, or at least the Sixers, I should say. And I just don't think if it's our championship window is closing soon. That's all I will say. I think we have a 2-year window.
I don't think that core is what works. I think you guys should trade Harden.
Trade what?
Harden.
I mean, yeah, he's on his free agency year though, so we have to sign him back. I want to sign and trade for Harden too. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
But enough about the Sixers, bro. I've been babbling for so long. I'm sorry. I get so worked up about the Sixers team, man.
Let's move on to the biggest frauds in the NBA, the Phoenix Suns. Listen, hate to be this guy, but I told everyone so. One of the 4 guys in this case, 2. But what happened?
No, I just said I agreed with you from the very beginning. So. I
called it. One of the 4, in this case, 2 of the core 4 players went down with injuries, and Devin Booker and Kevin Durant couldn't carry the load because their bench is garbage. It's garbage. Their bench is terrible. They couldn't keep up with the Nuggets. Devin Booker and KD had a backpack every single game. I'm not worried if I'm a Suns fan, but like it's a pretty bad collapse in my opinion, especially for Kevin Durant.
I think Chris Paul doesn't have what it takes to win a championship.
He doesn't have the health. He can't play through the regular season and the playoffs. He's just like Kawhi.
I think if for him to be on a team that actually has a chance to win a championship, he has to come off the bench. I don't think he's a starting point guard on a championship team anymore, and that's because of his health.
I kind of agree with you there, Hanuk. I wouldn't say he needs to come off the bench, but he can't be like one of the most paid guys, and he can't be like the 3-4 option. I think maybe like a 4-5 option.
Yeah.
As a starting point guard, I think he'll be fine. Especially if he's not being paid like what he is right now. I think he'd be amazing. And what's next for the Suns? And I think it's a pretty key indicator Did you guys see that DeAndre Ayton was smiling after they got absolutely demolished that last game?
I mean,
Yeah.
what else are we going to do?
I think it's just like bound to happen. I think DeAndre Ayton's going to get moved this offseason, and same with Paul.
I just don't think he is because they're getting a new coach. Also, I'm going to actually stick up for DeAndre Ayton here. Everyone's calling it, and I can't really defend his defense, but on offense, people are saying he's not demanding enough. Dude, you're playing with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, and it's clearly a coaching thing. They're not running plays for him. They're not involving him in the pick and roll. Every play is some sort of ISO or kick out to KD or Booker. That is not in Ayton's control. The dude clearly wants to play basketball, in my opinion. He's not utilized correctly, which I agree he should be traded.
He should have joined the. He should have.
And I see this trade all over Instagram, but I like the trade DeAndre Ayton for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. I think it's a sick trade for both sides.
I think that's an overused trade package.
But it's a good one, Anook, no?
It is a good one, but I don't think they're going to get that much value for Ayton.
Oh, I would give up plenty for Ayton on the Pacers.
I think they might, but they might not because of how low Ayton's value is at this moment. Because of all the issues. Because everyone knows that, like, it's not working out in Phoenix. I feel like they would lowball them. Realistically, he is worth that, but I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong.
But
that's
anyways, they got absolutely dumpstered by the Nuggets. And also,
I agree, bro.
KD is not a top 5 player in the league anymore, and he cannot be a number 1 option on a championship team. I'm saying it right now. And don't tell me about the Warriors stuff. He was the best player. I'm not even going to get into that. He is not a top 5 player in the league anymore. There's clearly flaws in his game, especially when it comes to the playoffs.
Come on, Ed. You're going to say he's not a top 5 player in the league?
No. Who do you have over? Okay. Yeah. Jokic, Curry, Giannis. Those are locks.
I agree completely.
Healthy Kawhi.
No, please stop now.
Healthy Kawhi.
Stop.
Healthy Kawhi.
Ed, stop. Ed, I know you're a Clippers fan, but please stop.
And Jason Tatum damn near.
Terrible take. Please stop. Terrible take.
Dude, you guys are okay. All right, let's take Kawhi out. I'm in a playoff setting. I'm taking LeBron over him, and I'm taking Jimmy Butler. Jason Tatum had better performances. Maybe Joel Embiid. Dude, no, I'm sorry. Come on, guys. These past few years, KD has not been great in the playoffs. The stats are there, but he's not advancing.
KD was great this series.
Huh?
He was okay this series. Yeah, he was okay. He was not like the Kevin Durant that we know, but he was still great.
I think he's top 5 still. Saying he's not top 5 is blasphemy, in my opinion.
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah,
who are you taking leading your teams in the playoffs, LeBron or KD right now?
Oh, LeBron. 1,000%.
I'd probably go LeBron.
Just because I
know LeBron can actually carry, but at the same time, just KD's versatility and everything, man.
I think this KD.
I don't know. It's tough, but I'd go LeBron probably.
I hate to say it, KD's not as versatile as everyone's saying. Like his offense, it's just a bunch of jump shots. Like guys, I mean, Jimmy and Tatum are having better playoffs than him.
No, I don't know about Tatum, bro. I don't know about Tatum. Other than this last Tatum game, he was kind of mid this playoffs.
I mean, he's been inconsistent, whatever, but I don't know. Maybe I'm on the KD hate train.
You kind of are. Jason Tatum has been okay.
Devin Booker's been him. I can't even lie to you.
Booker
yeah,
absolutely damn him.
I was always the guy that he's not the best shooting guard in the league. He is. I got to give him his flowers.
I don't think he is.
Who do you have over?
I think Donovan Mitchell, but after this playoffs, I can see an argument for both.
Yeah, I thought that before, but after these playoffs, I just can't. I got to put Booker. All right, last thing on this. What do you guys think about Monty Williams being fired?
I don't know.
I don't agree with that. I think that they're putting I think the coach is not the problem. It's the roster construction that's the problem.
I agree.
Because I was I was saying, their bench is so ass. I could come off their bench and be a decent role man. That's not okay.
The thing is, a lot of these teams that are failing, they always tend to blame the coach first. And a lot of times, yes, it can be the coach's fault. And us as fans, we don't see as much as these players do, and we're not actually there. So we don't know the behind the scenes. So maybe, firing Monty Williams was the right move. Maybe there was some chemistry. big guys on the team, and Monty, who knows? So, I mean, I feel like Phoenix knows what they're doing.
I think
Also, I'll give the Phoenix Suns credit. They did get KD midway through the year. They didn't have a lot of time to prepare. He was injured a lot of the time. They're obviously going to be a great team next season. So I'm not worried as a Phoenix fan.
I don't think they're gonna go all the way.
Neither do I. But they're going to be fine. They're going to be fine if they're healthy. All right, let's move on to.
I wish they didn't give up Cam Johnson in that trade.
Oh,
they had to.
They had to, yeah.
They had to, though.
All right, let's move on to Milwaukee now. Is that the next interesting team for you guys?
I don't know about big team to fall. Definitely a big team.
Giannis foreshadowed the firing. I'm not gonna lie.
No, he did.
The last game post conference, he's like, he didn't blame the teammates, but he just blamed the coaching. Like, we didn't make proper adjustments, and that's basically a shot at the coach. And then right after he got fired, I think they just had a bad playoff, and Jimmy is him.
And they had injuries, bro. Like, let's not. I hate when people gloss over injuries. I hate when people do that.
I mean, I have one question to throw at you guys about the Milwaukee Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Do they move on from the Chris Middleton timeline and trade him away? I get that he's an amazing fit with Giannis, but with his health concern, the amount of money he's making, is it time to move Chris Middleton?
I would give it one more season just to give him the benefit of doubt in terms of health. But I like this idea. I know what you're saying.
I mean, realistically though, what are you gonna get for him?
I think you get a decent amount because at this point, this season, I think he honestly looked like your fourth best player. Brook Lopez looked absolutely amazing. Jrue Holiday looked absolutely amazing. 100%. He looked like your fourth best.
Yeah, I like Milwaukee's team construction. I think Milwaukee is one of the most. I think Philly and Milwaukee are both extremely well-rounded teams with bad coaching.
I agree with that statement. I think Milwaukee's an absolutely beautifully constructed team. They couldn't pull through because of injuries and other reasons.
Yeah,
but again, I don't know what they would get for Chris Middleton. They could get something decent.
If I'm Milwaukee, I'm staying set with this roster. We're running it back with a new coach.
Ooh. I just had a trade idea. How would you guys feel if Milwaukee traded Chris Middleton to Golden State for a straight-up Klay Thompson?
I would decline that trade in an instant. Klay Thompson's actually washed.
Dude,
it would be an amazing fit with Giannis, though.
The thing is, Klay Thompson wouldn't. I feel like Klay Thompson is a system player. I don't feel like Klay.
Ooh, that's interesting. That is very interesting. Hey, Canucks.
I like that idea because like Giannis could just kick it out to Klay, but dude, Klay has been so washed, dude. He's washed. I'm sorry. He's washed. I'm sorry.
I feel like if you're gonna trade for Chris Middleton, you have to get somebody in return the snap that doesn't have this play style of Chris Middleton.
I don't know if I agree with that, but anyways, the Bucks, they're gonna be fine next year. They're gonna be the freaking first or second seed in the East again. Giannis is gonna put up 30 and 14 or whatever. Let's move on. I think it was a fluke. I think it was a fluke win for the Heat. Hate to say it. All right, let's move on to the Kings, baby. Now,
the Kings, if they played any other team, they would have beat them in the first round.
Yeah.
Completely agreed.
Yeah.
This Kings team was really good. I mean, they were pretty unlucky with injuries. I mean, Sabonis going down, De'Aaron Fox dealing with that hand injury, man, is just quite unfortunate for them.
Well, Sabonis played like shit in the playoffs. Like, let's be real. He was a shell of himself.
Agreed.
At least we learned.
I know, ever since he got curb stomped.
He did get curb stomped. Fuck Draymond Green. We know De'Aaron Fox is that man. They have a great supporting cast. They are one star away from being contenders. A star. No, an all-star. An all-star. And Mo, I believe you have a trade idea for them?
It is a trade idea and includes my Philadelphia 76ers. Mm-hmm. I say we give them Tobias Harris, who's on his final year on his contract, and he is an all-star caliber player, again, in quotation marks. He's a guy that can provide some offense. And all I'm asking for is maybe Harrison Barnes and another bench guy from Philly.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's a trade where Philly's like, we get, a nice young guy or like a nice guy, nice veteran who could fit that role, making way less money. And the Kings are looking at it as, wow, this guy's actually really solid. He can maybe put us over the top. If not, just an expiring contract. We can use that money next offseason.
Yeah, that's not a bad trade. We were talking about this in the group chat earlier. I was thinking they could really just sell their young core for a superstar. I was thinking they could sell Keegan Murray, Davion Mitchell, and some picks for Paul George or Kawhi. I think they would both fit beautifully with the Kings roster. But anyways, guys, they lost in 7 to the Warriors. They had an amazing season, S-tier season for Kings standards. Anything else on the Kings?
Nah, I think they'll be fine come the future.
Okay.
I think
Brooklyn Nets, we're going to skim over them. They're going to be really good soon. They got plenty of wiggle room to play with in terms of players and cap space. And does anyone want to talk about the Nets?
Nah, they just have a good future. Pretty much that's about it with them.
Okay.
All I got is Calbert's him, and I wish he was on my Sixers team. And he could have been. So
they need to utilize.
They would. That'd be insane.
They need to utilize Cam Thomas more. He's like the DeAndre Ayton of their team. He's not getting utilized at all.
I just think he's pretty one-dimensional. That's why he's just a straight-up scorer. And
I honestly disagree. I think he was used perfectly in the playoffs. He had some really nice games for the Nets.
But Mo, like to your what you're saying about like one-dimensional. Look at Michael Porter Jr. He's one-dimensional. Look how he's playing.
That's also very true. But again, the thing about Michael Porter Jr. That man is 6'10", bro. Him just being tall and lanky. Also, Cam Thomas is an undersized guard. Yes, he's an absolute bucket, but he's like a complete liability on defense. Complete.
I'm stupid. I thought we were talking about Cameron Johnson. I'm dumb.
This guy.
I was going to say, you guys are capping. No, Cam Thomas, they just needed – I don't know. Whatever. But anyways, let's move on to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Consistent minutes, sir. Go ahead.
They're so inconsistent, man. They really are. I did pick the Knicks, but I low-key couldn't believe that they lost to the Knicks that badly.
Tom Thibodeau needs to get fired. I'm sorry. He's a terrible coach.
Oh, no, we're talking about the Cavs. We're talking about the Cavs.
Oh, shit. Oh, okay.
Well, he's still not wrong there, in my opinion. Still not wrong.
No, he's not.
I'm sick of that guy. Anyways, back to the point. The Cavs just underperformed. I think it's just a fluke. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, they'll be fine. They do need a little more help on the wings.
Mm-hmm.
And Mobley, and more so Mobley needs to be more of an offensive weapon, in my opinion.
Yeah, he was a 0 on offense.
He was that team, so I mean, I have to give him credit there. But again, as you said, he needs to learn how to like stretch the floor a bit, open the game up for the other guys. And I need to see again how this Donovan and this Darius Garland duo is going to work, because ever since Donovan came, Darius Garland hasn't been all that great. I have to say he's been decent, but just took a huge sure.
And dude, Jalen Brunson minced their backcourt badly. Like he put a beating on them.
They don't have any good defense in backcourt. That's their problem.
That's true.
They need a trade for Dorian Finney-Smith.
They need to trade for Josh Hart.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just stick with this series. The New York Knicks, they had a fantastic season. They did collapse in the playoffs. I know we're going to talk about Tom Thibodeau. He should be fired. Yeah. But, dude, Julius Randle is the biggest fraud in the NBA. When it comes to regular season transferring to the playoffs, the dude is a fraud.
He's just bipolar. He's bipolar. He had a great first round, but terrible second round.
I agree with that statement there. And in my opinion, I don't think Julius Randle is the real problem. I think the real problem is RJ Barrett. That man has been so bad. So bad.
He was also great in the first round.
He was all right in the first round. And this guy is the definition of inconsistent. This guy
inconsistent. That's the word, yeah.
This literally the definition of inconsistent. And just like, you expect more out of what? The number 3 pick? Or number 4 pick?
I agree. But I also think they're just running out of gas. That's their issue.
Yeah, at the same time, that's true too. But
because they're getting played 40 minutes a game in 45 minutes a game in the regular season.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm not worried about the Knicks. First of all, Jalen Brunson. The Mavericks look like dumbasses. Jalen Brunson is a certified star. That dude is a monster. But the Knicks have plenty of trade assets to play around with. I think they should trade for like a Cat or Dame.
Who?
The Knicks.
Oh.
100%.
I don't know if Cat. They need to trade for like a star that's not like a defensive liability.
I think I don't really think defense is going to be an issue. Even
I think Mitchell Robinson's a great 5. I like him a lot.
Oh yeah, he showed out for sure. All right.
I think
All
last
right, this
thing
is
I just
for you guys. I'm curious to see what you guys would think about this. We get John Collins and we get DeJounte Murray moved to New York for RJ Barrett and quickly.
I don't know if that's a
I don't
good
think the
trade.
Hawks do that.
You don't think the Hawks do that?
Oh,
John
actually,
Collins,
no.
an
No,
awesome.
because that makes them worse.
That does make him worse thinking about it. RJ Barrett
And
and Trae Young on a
I
team.
think they want to win with Trae Young. Right? All right. We'll start. All right, guys. Let's pick it back up with Minnesota. They obviously lost to the Denver Nuggets in round one. This team gets plenty of hate for the Gobert trade. But let's be fair to them. Karl-Anthony Towns missed 40-something games. Even without him, they were still they still made the play-ins. I think they're okay. They're going to run it back next season because they can't make any trades after one season with the Gobert thing. I think if healthy, this team wins a lot more games. But
you think they're contenders still?
No, absolutely not. Because we saw them healthy in the playoffs, and they can't beat a team like the Nuggets. But I'm saying that they would have a much more successful regular season if fully healthy.
I completely agree. I just think they need to run that team back. I'm blanking on his name, but that dude that broke his arm during
McDaniels.
Jalen McDaniels. Yes, thank you. I was blanking on his name, bro. I kept thinking of Jared Vanderbilt, and I'm like, I know that's wrong.
Yeah,
he was an absolute beast on defense. They were missing him throughout that playoff series, and they needed him, man. They really needed
his own
him.
Damn fault, bro.
It was, and all I have to say, just run this team back. And if this team doesn't work out this year, then it is time to trade Karl-Anthony Towns.
100%. It is Anthony Edwards' team. It's his team. Gobert, we get it. The trade was terrible. One of the worst trades of all time. Gobert is an amazing defensive anchor center. No bag, but so Mo, what would you qualify not trading Cat? How successful do they have to be next season?
Second round.
Second round. What'd you say, Nook?
I was gonna say conference finals.
Okay, so you have a high. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say second round to conference finals, depending on how big of a jump Anthony Edwards makes.
Yeah, I hate to be this guy. I love Cat's game. He's a great player, but guys, he's been in the league for 7-8 years. He's not, and it's gonna be hard for him to evolve anymore with Gobert next to him. So I think it's time for them to move on. They'll be fine. Let's move on to the Atlanta Hawks now. Last month, what's up?
No, go ahead. I just said
that last month of basketball plus the playoffs saved their image as a non-shit team. They looked good the last month or so. Ever since the Quinn Snyder signing, I love him as a coach on that team. He did a great job with the remaining games he had, in my opinion.
I agree. I just don't like I've never been a fan of the DeJounte Murray.
Me too. I don't like him.
I mean, I understand why they did it for defensive reasons, but still, I am not a fan of that trade. If they were going to get a second black person, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. I kind of wish DeJounte was more of a scorer rather than a playmaker. If he was a scoring defensive guard, I think it'd be an amazing fit with Trae Young, and with Trae Young just being the sole playmaker and scorer if need be. But the fact that he's also a playmaker just makes things a little bit awkward at times. It's just two guys taking turns trying to facilitate the ball.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of their duo. I think they should move on from one of those two players.
Well, the thing is, also, how has John Collins not been traded yet? Can we just talk about that for 5 seconds?
He's been on a trading block since 2018.
Dude, honestly. Yeah, it's been 3-4 years since on the trade block, and I want to say the reason he's not being traded is I feel his value is at an all-time low.
I agree, bro. He's not dude, after that Philly series, they should have traded him. His value was at an all-time high. He looked great in the playoffs. I just now no one wants him.
I think the Bulls should trade for him.
The Bulls?
I mean, what would you trade?
I don't know. I'm just naming teams he'd be a good fit on. He would be a great fit on the Spurs. Alongside Victor.
Collins.
Oh, yeah, Collins is there.
All right, let's move on to our final team of the video. Probably the most controversial team in the league, the Memphis Grizzlies. Dylan Brooks, he dug his own grave. He had the shovel and he dug that 6-foot deep hole. And he buried himself in it. Dude ruined his NBA career, in my opinion. Not I don't know about career. Is that too far, Mo?
He'll get signed to a team.
He will. He will. And as odd as it sounds, I've seen a lot of rumors, and honestly, I'm not against it. I've seen a lot of rumors of him going to Philly.
That would be a funny.
I've seen some Bulls rumors also.
I don't want him.
Listen, if I'm any team, I'm all for him joining my team. Like, he's not a great player. I'm not giving him. I think you wanted $20 million a year. Like, no, no, I'm not giving you that much money. But like, as long as you don't bring the bullshit antics, just play hard on the court, whatever.
You know what? You can be good.
What's up? Oh, no.
Be a great fit on the Bucks.
Yeah, because you want a team where he can stay level-headed. The Bucks would be a good team, that's for sure. But all right, let's talk more about the Grizzlies. Lost to the Lakers. I think most people thought the Lakers would beat them. They were just too small. They needed Steven Adams. What does the future look like in Memphis?
I think it's dim. Ja can't pull his head out of his ass.
It's fat. Yeah, I mean facts.
If your star player is doing shit like this, you have no future. And it's not
like to like get seriously disciplined, bro.
Yeah, it's not even that. It's just he's with the wrong people.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw. He released the state. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Anna.
No, I stopped talking. You're good.
He released a statement today, basically saying, "Oh, I know my words don't mean much, but I'm gonna do whatever moving forward." Do you guys think this is the end of these Ja controversies? Because this is 2 times in a row now with a firearm. It's like
it will never stop.
If you're the organization, do you trust Ja? Is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, you have to, because there's no value you're gonna get for him. You're like, by no value, I mean you're not gonna get equal value if you trade him.
No, I think you can get plenty value for him, but it's more of like, this dude's a moron. Like, obviously, he's an amazing basketball player, amazing talent, but he just keeps fucking up.
Let's say
true. Like, that's completely out of the organization's control. Like, the only thing they can do at this point is like seriously discipline him, like literally take his salary away. Like, I don't know what they can do. Like, put him on a long suspension, man. Like, I don't know what they can do, bro.
They can't take away his salary.
Well, he's lost a lot of money by not making the All-NBA team this season, and most of that was because of like the time missed from the incident with the firearm. He lost millions and millions of dollars. Don't get it twisted.
Exactly.
And he deserves it. But like, all right, let's just talk about strictly basketball. Let's take the controversies out of it. What do you guys see in the next 2 to 5 years with this team on the court?
Second round exits.
I agree. Honestly.
Come on. I think
they might make one. They might pull like an Atlanta Hawk 2.0 and make one.
What do you think, Mo?
I think they'll make at least a conference finals run. Ja Morant, I still don't think he's done progressing. I think Jaren Jackson's been looking better and better, healthy and healthier every single year. Desmond Bane's still an absolute bucket. And they're still a young team, and that's what people forget, man. Like, obviously, they're young. I mean, they are stupid. You know, obviously, by stupid, I'm talking about one specific person. I'm not going to name the name. You guys exactly know what I'm talking about, who I'm talking about. But they just need to get it together, and I think they will. They're still a young team. They'll figure it out.
I think another thing I think JJJ is going to become a star.
He had a great. That's one bright side. He had a great season.
He's my favorite player on that team, in my opinion.
All right, though, boys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it was a long one, but it was really fun to make. Talk about the Cancun teams. We're definitely gonna make some posts about the conference finals and the finals coming up. Make sure to check out our other videos, the TikToks and the shorts, and we will catch you.
Peace out.
Yeah.